I get a lot of questions around how do you stay resilient? How do you overcome these obstacles? How do you make your business resilient? I reflect back on when the news of the pandemic spread, pardon the pun, companies really began to consider how it was going to affect their services, right? Their supply chain, their employee engagement, how they were going to continue their businesses. And business owners, I think, quickly discovered what was missing. They were confronted with their business model. Like, did they have multiple revenue streams? Did their delivery systems, even their relationships that were with their funding institutions just were missing. Now, you might have also noticed that you had gaps in your reserve accounts, maybe wondered how you were going to pay your mortgage or even make payroll. And while trying to stay upbeat for your team, you still had a lot to deal with the brain drain with the ever-changing rules to apply for emergency funding. So all of that stuff happened, right? And usually when there's a sudden shift or sudden change, you've got all this, what I call the cloud of ambiguity. So it was interesting that Sharon McGrill, the CEO of the Betty Brigade, it's a home organizing company, said, at the beginning of the pandemic, it was a daily game of whack-a-mole. No truer words were ever spoken. There were days, she said, that she felt so mentally exhausted from trying to figure out how to get funding, and with the constantly changing rules. And she even questioned if, hey, is staying in my business, is, continuing my business, is that something I want to do? And in addition to all those rules changing, the forms, the terms, businesses had to wait a long time for funding. Well, thankfully, she says she got a local grant, and she was able to get funding in 10 days. She also was thankful that the grant was there because she didn't have to pay it back like the other loans. Now, I think one of the biggest concerns on the hearts and the minds of every business owner was cash flow to continue to pay their team. And while grants and funding and other emergency assistance eventually came through to stabilize everything, the pandemic continued longer than many people anticipated. So in this long, lengthy situation, how do you find resilience? Because the lingering effects of it has many leaders questioning how to recover. And the biggest thing that I find that is often missing is something to look forward to. Now, when I interviewed Sharon McGrill of the Betty Brigade, she said, it didn't take me long to figure out retiring wasn't an option. She had to put several things in place, and her retirement plan was incomplete. So her exit strategy, rather, was incomplete. And she realized it was going to take her years. But the exit plan that she designed actually gave her renewed energy to keep going. She had something to look forward to. And that's a key in resilience. The other thing, too, is not only can that goal, something to look forward to, influence your mental state, but ongoing self-care is essential. Now, some business owners wear that long hours as a badge of honor. Burnout is not a badge of honor. And if the pandemic is teaching us anything, it's being conscious of your well-being. Now, in our mentoring labs, rather, we identify challenges for the business, something that's going to challenge you to move forward. And also, we put in promises. Promises are usually personal and self-care focused. And the holistic approach keeps those leaders focused on their intentional well-being. And they can be simple, like scheduling a walk for yourself. You schedule meetings, so schedule a walk. Routinely take your vitamins, drink more water, even scheduling a vacation. Sharon McGrill says she realized that she needed to schedule some time off every 3 months. She said if she worked longer than any 3 months, she became cranky. So she made that part of her routine, even if it was a long weekend. And the time gave her some deep decompression time, but also gave her staff an opportunity to step up in her absence. So creating resilience is intentional. Creating resilience is intentional. Now, whether you're creating resilience in your business model, your mental state, or your physical strength, it's intentional. So ask yourself, what are you doing for yourself and your business to build a business and a life with staying power? If you're inspired to build a resilient business and work on your business, and one that's in alignment with your human wiring and your contribution in the world, I invite you to join us for the Wake Up Profitable Bootcamp for Business Owners on October 21st and 22nd. More information on the link below. Until next week, create a great life. Bye now.